Okay, we're going to talk about something special. I have an old vintage hat here by Knox, the old Knox, the old original Knox. These hats are kind of unique. You can see the old logo there. This is a Cavanaugh edge. Okay, some of you might recognize it, some of you might not. If you look at it, it's a little bit different from the standard welted edge. You see, those are all Cavanaugh edges there. What's a little bit different about it is this is a very special edge that nobody knows how to do anymore. The secret was lost when Cavanaugh went out of business, Cavanaugh hats, and there were a few companies doing it. See, there's a welted edge. Okay, welted is just folded over and stitched like a hem, like hemming a pair of pants or something, hemming your sleeve. It's pinked. They fold it over, they sew it, and you could see the stitches there when I zoom in really close. See the stitches? It's easy, okay? They give it a little extra strength by folding it under or folding it over. This is the Cavanaugh edged hat, okay? This is an old Knox. We're going to look at the difference. And when Cavanaugh went out of business, this secret disappeared. The machines that they had were all proprietary, and they're just gone. I've seen some old vintage Borsalinos with them, some Knox, some other companies, but Cavanaugh was the one who was famous for it. John Kennedy used to wear some Cavanaugh hats and stuff. This is your Cavanaugh edge, also known as a Cav edge. Basically, it's like bonded. So if you look at it, there's no stitching, and you can't peel that up. You can't separate it. It's just like, almost like they folded it over and they just sort of bonded it together like it's one piece of felt. There's no seams there. There's nothing. And if you show this to a hat maker, somebody who's really good, and like, can you tell me how they do that? He'll just kind of like look at you and just change the subject, because no, they can't. There are probably some people who know how to do this, but most people can't. That's the Cav edge, the Cavanaugh edge. You'll only see these on vintage hats, and it's something fun to try to look for and collect. Cavanaugh hats, older, I've seen a few Italian Borsalinos, from the 40s or 50s, really golden period ones. That kind of thing is impossible to get used on the used market. They're just priceless. It was like, $500 to $5,000 hats. And nobody really wants to get rid of them. They're generally just things that they get from their dads or their grandpas and stuff. But you will find some Cav edges on Cavanaughs, on Knoxes, other types of hats. To me, the best is buying a Cavanaugh. That's just a classic style. It's got a nice, like a 2-inch brim. You see a lot of them in nice chocolate brown colors with the Cav edge. It's kind of a nice 60s style, like a cool Kennedy-looking short to medium brim fedora, and they all have this edge. I've steamed a few dozen of them over the years, and when this one came in, this Knox, I just figured I'd take some shots of the edge and show it to you guys. I'm sure there's a lot of really learned, vintage nerds out there who know what they're doing. I'm not exactly a vintage guy. I know what I know from working at the hat shop for 30 years, but I don't really collect vintage hats or look at them on the used market, and I don't follow any of the forums or any of that stuff. So I don't know much about vintage hats, but I know what I see. That's real silk. The lining is real silk. That's butter soft glove leather they're using. Got that little piece of plastic there that, I forgot what they call that, celluloid cover. And anyway, it was a treat, right? Cav edge. So, happy hatting, happy everything, guys. Love you, take care.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.